This, of course, is the best time of the year. The Major League postseason is underway.
But there is another league playing right now with some of the most devoted players that you will ever meet.
You won't find them in massive stadiums, but what you will find is a passion for the game that matches anyone in the big leagues. And it was all started by one young man who just wanted to play ball. They gather on a dusty ball field, baking in the Georgia sun. There are hits, runs, definitely some errors. But what sets this game apart is what the players bring to it. Most of the players have special needs.
I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 4, speech issues, sensory issues, anxiety issues.
That's Taylor Duncan. He's 22, and he's not just a player, he's a coach. He's the commissioner. Oh, and he's also the founder of the Alternative Baseball Organization. When did you fall in love with the game?
I fell in love with it around the time that I was 4 and 5.
Taylor wanted to play ball, but some coaches would not let him.
It was basically win at all costs. And once he knew that I had autism, he basically wanted me to quit the team.
Most people would have given up, but Taylor isn't most people. He decided to start his own team. Then he created his own league for players like him. Taylor, it would seem to me this is about more than just baseball.
Of course, it's more than just the sport of baseball itself and America's pastime, but it can grow character. It can grow social skills. The unpredictability of the sport itself can teach these people how to deal with certain situations in real life.
Jimmy Young had no connection to the special needs community when he was asked to play a pickup game with Taylor's team. Now, he coaches one of the other teams in this growing league.
When they first came, we started them off hitting on a tee. Now, we can pitch them overhand. We might not be able to throw them 70 miles an hour or 80 miles an hour, but we can throw them overhand and they can hit the ball.
Let's get through, guys.
The volunteers and parents get just as much out of it as the players. Just ask Scott Arnold, who brings his son Tyler.
All these kids are like sons to me, and that's what gets here.
What's your favorite part?
Probably hitting and pitching.
I hear you're a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah.
Taylor will be the first to tell you that none of this would be possible without the love and support of his mom, Cindy. How difficult was it rearing a child who has autism?
It's been hard. It's been really hard. His dad and I separated before he was diagnosed at the age of 4. And I've devoted life to him, you know. It's had to be that way.
It seems to be paying off, though.
It is paying off. It's remarkable to me to think where he's come from and where he's at.
You've come a long way from a kid
Thank
that
you.
couldn't get picked up by a Little League team.
A lot of times in my life, I've been told, no, you can't do this. No, you're not able. No, it's not possible. But I can tell you with the right support and the right opportunities, you can really go anywhere.
Where Taylor is happiest is on the baseball diamond. It's no wonder that when you round the bases, you end up at a place called home. Have you ever seen one of those coaches that wouldn't let you play back in the day?
No, but I'd like to see their face when they see me on the Today Show.
That was
There
beautiful.
you go, Taylor. Cool kid. One of the coolest kids I've met in a while. By the way, the Alternative Baseball Organization now has 10 teams, mostly in the Southeast. New teams forming in Colorado and New Jersey. Taylor says he would like to eventually see this thing span the entire country.
I could see this may have just given them a big head start. And I just love his confidence. You can just see how he's blossomed.
There's something about baseball that really brings people together because it's individual, but it's a team sport at the same time.
And the kids who play it, the parents told me that a lot of them look forward to it every day. Like this is the highlight of their day every day.
Big shout out to Mom.
Yeah.
Poured herself into him while it paid off.